I think I've had like, I always feel like the bastard daddy of a lot of shit, right? Like more people saying they scared. Because when I was young, nobody said they was scared. Like no man would admit he was scared. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't say we was depressed or scared. We had other words for it, you know? Because somebody else, if you said anything suggesting fear, somebody be like, oh, you shook. You know what I mean? Like anything, like now you a coward because you are speaking your fear out. So it's like, even if you're scared, you better hold it, right? You better not show it. And so I started saying that I was scared in recent years. But like of the most craziest things that people didn't believe you should be scared of. Like, I'm scared of being too successful. You know, like I'm being honest about it because I learned there's a fear of failure. I failed plenty of times. I learned from it every time. I'm not that scared of that no more. But fear of success, I didn't understand it. So I had to give it its own personality. It was almost like I had to incarnate this demon to beat it. Like I had to give this monster life. Like what am I scared? I'm scared of success. I gotta fear success. I gotta fear. So then I started breaking it down, like diagnosing the monster. Like, yo, what's that even made of? Well, he ain't just, like, it's like when you look at like a hot piece of mud, like that shit ain't just made of hot and like that ain't just, is more elements to it. It's fire and mud together. Like fire and earth, like and water. Now you're breaking it down to the elements. So I'm like, what's the basicest shit? Like, okay, fear of change. You know, I got like, because there's those premium things, like the overarching, like loss. You know what I mean? Is a major one. And so change and loss is related because it's loss of what you used to. Loss of how you're normal. And now you got new normal. So it's like, damn, how will I perform in the new normal? And it's like, do you want to have baby legs? Do I want to be green again? Do I want to be dumb again? Yo, I'm so used to being smart. But what if you're smart in the dumbest of worlds? Of course you realize that, then you get into a less of a dumber world. And then the world be less painful. Really, because pain is such a good teacher that the dumber you are, the more pain you go through. And the smarter you get, the more pain you avoid. You know what I mean? Like, people that don't learn, they go through the same pain repeatedly because they're not learning. So that's what really make a person dumb. It's not their sharpness or their keenness or their ability to talk like me or this all on the wall. That's all different things. That's information, that might be but dumb in our lessons go along with blind, deaf, and dumb, right? Which is not mockeries of people born with disabilities, clearly. It's about mental positions, right? Because the worst blindness is not blindness of your physical sight, but blindness of your ability to see the truth when it's in front of you, to hear the truth when it's told to you or revealed to you, or to speak. That's the dumb part. Dumb also means mute. So it means that you can't speak truth even to yourself. So that's the part where a person become dumb, where they see the pain, they feel the pain, they touch the fire, but they telling themselves, it wasn't me touching the fire. That's the dumb part of it, because the truth will set you free. Yo, I gotta stop touching fire. I like touching fire. I like fire, but I should not touch. And that's learning, wisdom. So wisdom is the wise, the dumb, you know? And that's part of what I always thought of my tradition was. So at some point, though, I went through, as everybody go through, a crisis in their novel, in their story. They plot point where they really overwhelmed by the devil, as our people have gone through in the past 6,000 years. Now, as we close out that 6,000 year cycle that some of us know a lot about, and others got some hint or inkling of, you know, it's kind of like the same with our own personal lives. Like every person gets a chance, just as every people gets a chance to go through their crisis point and then the transition. It's like part of the people's timeline. Like if you got a history, then at some point in midpoint in your people's history, because every people come and go, because the ultimate thing is we all go back to God. You know, the Prophet Muhammad said, you know, that God made tribes and made man and woman, not so they could despise each other, but so they could get to know one another. You know, so it's like, this is the purpose. Like we get to know each other, and in doing so, that's how you come to the supreme knowledge of God. That's the supreme understanding, like, oh, it all go back to one, right? So all this just be journeys. So there's the big journeys, little journeys. So how can you as an individual imagine yourself as a collective? Like that can fuck you up. That can group think you and make you have to obey and conform to a norm that you don't even really know about. You don't know who the controllers of this group are, who the steerers, who the influencers are. And if they don't have them, you don't know how it's really being run all the way unless you've been in it for generations. right? This is what make people maintain a family and a generational type of legacy, because there are family codes and family values, and you know by blood we all connected or by a code. But when you just get into something by a trend or by a idea, that's a dangerous way to join a community, because you have to learn how the community culture is. Is this a culture that feels natural to me? Because otherwise you're going to find yourself still feeling unalike in the middle of a group of people. That's an uncomfortable feeling. So then either they got to change you or you got to change them. So whatever neighborhood you find yourself in, same thing. Whatever timeline or historical situation that a people find themselves in, same thing. They're always going to have some type of allies and adversaries. You will always have allies and adversaries. It's like a game. You'll always have to figure out what's the playing field. How is the point score? What are the goals? Who are my teammates? Who is the other team? How do I tell? How can I identify in the middle of play who's on my team and who's not? How can I know what is really penalized behavior? What will I be penalized for? You know, what do the fans like? What do the fans, and who's watching? That's a big one. Who's watching me? Like, who am I being observed by? For real, right? So then they get you into the deep philosophical, but you better come back to good behavior. Because if you went to the deep philosophical and you didn't come back to good behavior, ain't no telling where your mind went left, but it didn't get right, right? So that's kind of why we want to make this school without walls too. Because, like, this is for the people that feel like I do, like, terrified, you know? Like, going back, all the way back, like, this is not something where I'm doing it like, yo, I feel so confident, I know it's going to be right. It's uncomfortable. Because me sitting at this desk is different. This is me acting like a school principal. And I got students of all kinds all over the planet Earth. I got people watching this from prison right now. I got people, meanwhile, watching this from their office, and they hold a political position right now. And those two are family. They may not even know it yet. But we family here and here. And that's what's coming together. And so it's like, oh, it's my responsibility to bring the family together. Like across a whole lot of borders, across black, brown, red, yellow, a lot of that is because why else would I get this? You know, Bengali Jesus. You know, like that's the hype that come, but that's why I got low self-esteem. Yeah, exactly. People be like, how you got low self? Because esteem, if people put it on a pedestal, that's how they esteem you. Now you got your own esteem, your self-esteem. Is it that high? You don't think of yourself on no pedestal. I don't think of myself as Bengali Jesus for real. If I did, I'd be planning on dying a lot sooner. I gotta be somebody else. Let me be like Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory made it to old age. Let me be like Robert F. Williams. He made it to old age. Let me be like Queen Mother Moore. She made it to old age. You know? Somebody said I ain't shouting enough women. Now I gotta make sure I
was
shout
just
out
thinking
women.
that.
Every list of men, I'm about to make it equal because I got daughters. I rep for the women. Right. And Ida B. Wells, now we equal. You know what I mean? I had to think of somebody that made it the elderly, you know? Rosa Parks, she made it to the point where Little Caesars was, I ain't trying to be funny. This is the part where I'm going to get banned. This Little Caesars founder was her sugar daddy. I'm saying Rosa Parks bossed up. Had her rent paid by the founder of Little Caesars. He said, you good, you gonna stay there because of what you did and you beautiful. Can't tell me she wasn't beautiful all her life. You feel me? Then somebody gonna be in the comments like, I supported what you said, but there was actually Clara, there was a sister before her. You know why she didn't get the position? She was dark skinned. She also was pregnant, so that wasn't the type that they wanted to promote for the civil rights movement. Really, because it would have been unpopular in the eyes of many people, even church-going people at that time. Right, so you gotta think about your own audience reception of a lot of things. There was marketing going on from the beginning with that. Which, there's bad to that, but then you also want to do that with your business, with your brand too. You want to do good marketing. You want to have a good name out there. You want to do things that get you goodwill. So we're going to be paying people's rents at some point. Absolutely. We're going to look out for our community leaders. Man, them elder brothers and sisters that help raise me up and inspire me, man, I want them to have a pension plan, a social security for them. Because they used to tell me when I was young, there is none of that for us. The revolutionaries, the human rights leaders and civil rights leaders, and people that was really pioneering and working for the community in their 80s now, 90s, you know, how are they sustained? So, and this is where the people that, you know, we like whatever's popular on our screens at the time, we don't realize there's marketing dollars behind that. So there's got to be somebody that's getting them dollars that also be like, yo, let's put it to the people that ain't got the marketing, the people that just got good names. Because we all kind of know, those that do the work, we all know who the pioneers is. You know what I mean? We all know who came before us. We all know who's still living, who's still doing the work, who's still, you know, might be struggling. Because this is a difficult thing. This is why I encourage everybody to be about securing property, building schools, teaching everything from nursing to agriculture. Because these are all going to be necessary for us to survive just as communities, just as neighborhoods. Because those are going to be the villages that endure while the smart cities tumble. Real shit. Everybody that's smart and seen a movie know that. So, doing this work and making these changes make me nervous and make me want to say I'm scared. Yes, but now I'm like, I don't want to say I'm scared because I hear so many people saying they're scared now. It's weird language to me now. It's too scary now. In the South, they call you scary. They say you scary if you too scared. Scary. And then I thought about it like, damn, like, so I converted that. My northern brain is like, nah. And then my author brain is like, yeah, because I'm like, it's scary for you to be so scared. Thus, in How to Hustle and Win, it say insecurity is a security threat. Because people that are insecure or nervous or always worried will bring that type of shit to you. So I want to now embrace a different type of fearlessness where it's like, yes, I'm dealing with some trials behind these changes that I know that are coming. And I plan on being victorious through it. So I'm not scared. I'm not terrified. And I want to really mean that. So I got to really have the fuel behind it. So that's the thinking, which is like, yo, no, I fly on a magic carpet of gratitude that don't function like a roller coaster where it gotta go down just because it went up. My carpet can go up and then go up again. And if I want to ground it, I ground it smoothly at my own discretion. And when I look down at a high height and I don't know what the fuck holding me up, that would make me plummet because I'd be questioning my own self-worth and be like, yo, where is the real pedestal? But it's not a real pedestal. It's a magic carpet made of the fabric of gratitude. That gratitude is knowing that you're deserving, knowing that I'm in the place that I'm supposed to be in. I've done the work to be in this position. In fact, it's obligatory for me to occupy this station and to do a good job at this point of service. I've been assigned a point of service. Clearly, all the signs and symbols is pointing me to my station. I learned from every experience I go through. I opened a restaurant because I knew I was meant to serve the people. I was like, I got the message, get on the corner and serve. And I'm like, yo, I can't just do it the old way where I just stand on the corner and serve. I done stood on the corner and served with no books. I done got on the corner with books and served. That would be old if I go back to the corner with books to serve. I want to have young people serving books like I did. They can make $1,000 a day like I did off of these. Like, this is good money. This has got a lot of people out the dope game. People went from selling dope to selling this, like on street corners for a good 10 years. So in prison, the reason that we got the forward from the real Rick Ross, because Rick Ross was selling our books in prison and we found out about it. One of his customers was like, yo, Rick Ross and they're pumping your books like crack. And I said, no. It's like, yeah, we got a hold of him. And man, shout out to Rick Ross, man, the real one. And shout out to the other one. Shout out to both of them. Because they doing good shit for the people in their own way. Everybody doing their best. Like, yo, we flawed. I'm flawed. That's another part that used to make me anxious. Like, yo, what if I'm on the hot air balloon and somebody pop it? But again, I'm not on a hot air balloon for somebody to pop. I'm on a magic carpet. You can't pop my magic carpet. You poke a needle in my magic carpet, I'm going to use that bitch to sew it closed. See, so it's like me knowing I'm grateful because where I'm at, I deserve it. I ain't going to get blessed more than I can be able to give it back. I know that with blessings, the way you keep them is you keep giving them away. That's the first blessing was knowledge. And then that knowledge leads you to peace. And peace being a blessing is like, how do you keep getting it? You keep giving it away. So yeah, peace.